welcome back to the channel. Didn't even want to make a video, but I'm going to anyway. I think that is not going to amount to very much, but we're going to do this anyway. What I got here is a 2007 Dodge Ram truck. This is a two-wheel drive. A little bit different from a four-wheel drive, not in the respect that this doesn't have four-wheel drive, but in the respect of what I'm going to do to it. This thing is wiggling and jiggling, and the shocks are all blowed out. So we want to take the shocks out of this. I'm going to try to do this rather quickly. I'm hoping anyway. Hopefully I don't run into no problems with it. I'm going to take a little bit different approach on how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to drag the camera around with me. However, I am going to take the camera right now and I'm going to tell you where I'm at, what this is. Replacement shocks. These are the Monroe shocks. Using the Monroe shocks, the customer didn't want to put no expensive shocks in it. I like to use the OE Spectrum. So that's what this is, a Monroe OE Spectrum, not a sponsor. But these seem to be a little bit better than the other ones that you get a hold of from them. So we can start front, back, doesn't matter. So let me flip my screen here so I can see what I'm showing you. Okay, on the two-wheel drive, as you can see, right there's your rod for the shock, and it goes up through the top. It'd be sitting right there. There's a nut on top, a cup, and then we've got, of course, bolts down here that holds it on. Passenger side, same thing. I sprayed a little bit of lube on it already when I did the mileage and everything. Here's from the back side what we're looking at. Going up top. So I don't know if the camera even picking it up, but I'm sure it is good enough. Moving toward the back of the truck. Of course, like almost every truck, we've got shock right here on that side, and of course one on the other side, same thing. I guess we can start back here. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm a little bit in a hurry. I want to get this done. I'm going to keep the camera up there. I'm going to work on this side here, and let's go ahead and take this apart. I do believe we need a 21 millimeter. I think that's what we're going to need in this case here. Let me grab a light. Maybe that'll help the camera a little bit as well. So there you go. I'll get that screen turned around again. So I do believe that is 21. We're going to get a ratchet and get the cracking. I do believe, truly believe that is a 21. Oh yeah, no problem. I will do one thing, and the reason I'm ducking a little bit on here is because if you raise these too high, I won't be able to reach the top of the shock anymore, so I'd rather duck a little bit and be able to not have to stretch. I might be pulling a little bit harder, a little bit of added safety. I'm going to put jack in the front and the back that kind of stabilizes me on this here lift. So we're going to need an extension because we're going to reach, what in the world? We're going to reach over the frame. So we're going to need a little bit of an extension on that one. I might switch over to the longer ratchet actually because I can reach better with the longer ratchet. These nuts, I think they have a tab on them that's supposed to keep them from rolling, but No, this one here don't. I lied. Some of them I believe do. This one here does not. Either way. So I got this one here loaded up pretty good now. So we'll get that top one. We'll get that one loosened up. Like I said, that's where things can get a little bit more tricky. Here I am going to have a, and I'm going to switch to a little bit longer ratchet. This might be easier for me. So if you happen to have a long ratchet, that might be the way to go. Probably should have had that ready already, but I do not, so sorry. What I mean by that is just a longer ratchet to get to it, so let me see. Let me get that's that right there, so actually speed things up a little bit. I'm going to try to use impact. I have to have an impact swivel, impact socket, one of the two. It'll be the easiest thing to do, I think. See if I can get that beast in here. On, off. I'm doing a little bit of guessing. I honestly cannot see it, so I am doing a little bit of guesswork here. Actually, I'm going to regroup yet again. This might make it a little bit faster yet. And get me a step stool. I'm short, guys, so just bear with me. Now I can see it. That'd be better. Boom! Of course, pull your shock out. The rears aren't as bad as, well, the rears are pretty bad too, but they're not anywhere near as bad. This truck needs shocks. I'm a firm believer in putting shocks in, so. And we're gonna go ahead and buckle the top on the new shock up right away. I'm not gonna switch sides until we get one completed. Might go ahead and take a look at your shock. Maybe do a little bit of comparing. Perfect, they're exactly the same. These actually have a little bit of gas left in it. We can't really say that for the other ones, because they really didn't. I pushed on the, what I meant by that, I guess I should explain it a little bit better. What I meant by that, I pushed on the front, and when the shock is wore out, you can tell the vehicle just keeps on bouncing and swaying up and down and up and down. And that's exactly what it was doing. It wouldn't quit bouncing. So, like I said, we'll get this boat started up again. I'm going to keep the video rolling, but let's speed things up a little bit. I'm putting the bolts in there, put the nuts on, tighten everything up. basic stuff, not a big deal. You can get it good and tight and it'll be fine. Straight away on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera. Actually, I think that I'm gonna pause you up for a minute since we've already talked about this. So let me pause you up for a minute and go ahead and just do this one and move on to the front. I sometimes forget about our friends in the Rust Belts. One tip, in our climate here, I'm sure you can see that bolt, no rust. I mean, just a little bit of rust haze on the end of the threads there. If you're in the Rust Belt, spray your bolts with something like a lubriplate or something like that, some kind of red grease or the fluid film that I use. Any of that, and spray the crap out of the inside, the eyelet, the shock, and by doing so, hopefully you don't get these bolts rusting into the shocks. That may help you somewhat. I don't know how much it's going to help you, but it's got to do something. You know, it will do something for you. So that's just a tip if you're in the Rust Belt. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the front part of it now. So, rears are installed. This whole process shouldn't take too long. Now, of course, again, I mentioned the Rust Belt. That does tend to change things a little bit when you're working in the Rust Belt. Of course, that goes without saying. I honestly don't know what the size is here. That's 13. First try. First try. Alright. So 13 mil on the bottom. Again, you might want to, when you're doing it in the rusty areas, you know, you might have to wiggle them a little bit. Tighten them, loosen them, tighten them, loosen them. Here we really don't have to do much because, whoops, hopefully you can see that they don't rust too much over here, as long as the vehicle is not completely mistreated. So anyway, we'll have to, while I'm thinking about it, we have to undo the tops and we will be setting everything up just the way it is right now. Start the bolts and then start tightening everything up. Get this hardware out of here. As for the hardware, when you're mounting your shock, kind of have a look how them tabs are sitting. This is actually the way it needs to go in right there. That is the right angle. They are in a little bit of an angle. As far as the hardware, you have a base plate. Then you have one of the rubber bushings. This boss on this side here fits the hole up top. And when you get it on top, you put the other bushing with that same boss. Put it together just like this and put your nut on. That'll be the assembly of it, so I don't have to, in case I forget. People tend to give me grief on that one when I forget to tell them something, so I'll try to be thorough today. Odds are you're going to need a pair of ice grips. I try to set them on the shock somewhere where I can get to it. said, odds are you are going to need them. That's going to want to turn on you. Normally, you would take the wheel off. So I want to speed things up a little bit. So the whole leaving the tire on there is not working for me. I'm going to end up lowering the vehicle, take the tires off right quick, because this being up in the air is just not working for me. So I'm going to do that. So basically what I'm saying is I'm going to cut a little bit of the video out and actually get back to the part where I lower it down and have the wheel off of it. That way we're not wasting a bunch of time. Everybody's going to be happy, I hope. I'm going to go ahead and zip those wheels off. I should have done that in the first place. Normally that's what I do. I try to rush, and that's normally what happens when you're trying to rush anyway. So there you go. Have a perfect example of why you shouldn't rush. Give you a good idea of what I'm looking at here. Go down, get you a shot of this. Anyway, this will be better for you, so now you can see what I'm talking about. Instead on top, that's pretty crummy, pretty rusted. So that's basically in a nutshell what I was looking at. So we can't get an impact on top of it, you know, and besides, it may or may not do us any good. Like I said, this is a matter of really latching onto the rod real good. Stupid handle. Make sure you don't step on it. A little bit more violent approach. So much for that part. We'll check our bushings one more time. All right, we found I was actually wrong the first time around. The right side is, in this case here, it's the bigger diameter that sits in there like this. That what centers it up in the hole real good. So gotta keep that in mind. We'll bring both of those together. Put that hardware up here. I'll have to lift up on it a little bit. Where am I at? So this is where that goes, that's where that goes. I have enough to get it started, maybe not. Okay, got that set up there. I'm gonna go ahead and lift the vehicle up. Not gonna do the other side because it'd be literally the same thing, of course with the exception of the other side of the vehicle. But I'm gonna turn the camera off over here. That's in a nutshell. That's how you go about it. We want to go ahead and get a good snug on this nut. Once we get the bottom bolts in, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that in front of the camera. So now that we got the bolts started, and I did have to turn the shock around because there is a slight angle on your bottom piece, and you want to angle it with the same way the suspension is pointing. That right there is good because that is a small bolt. Wouldn't want to put any more on it. At this point in time, like I said, we had the top set. It's nice and centered in there in the hole. All we've got to do now is really go ahead and pull that up. Normally, it's not going to be a problem to, what am I trying to say? To hold the inside with like a soft wrench or something like that. If you're grabbing your shell, your outer shell at the top with pliers, just put a rag of some sort around your jaws before you grab it. That way you don't scratch it all up. Kind of keep that in mind. But other than that, normally they pull right on in there. I don't foresee that to be a problem. We can lift on the suspension. A lot of times the shock will be enough to do it. I'm just going to try to do it with shock, and got to be careful, of course. Don't want to strip anything. Goes without saying, or at least it should go without saying. But I'm going to turn the camera off here because I've been making a lot shorter videos. I was trying to be detailed. I hope you guys like this time. This time around, you like it pretty good. I think I explained everything. Yeah, and that's in a nutshell. That's really how you do it. So, guys, thank you for watching. I got a little bit of a, well, I don't know if I'm gonna call it a treat. I got a little bit something different tomorrow, and definitely going to be posting that video. Matter of fact, that video may even go up before Christmas yet. I said I wasn't going to make any more, but ended up going to make some more. I've got actually a whole rear axle that I'm changing out, so stay tuned for that one. Like I said, that'll be coming up tomorrow. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave the comments, do what it is you do. Till next time, we'll see you then. Okay, let me rephrase something. I should have explained that too, and I'm going to. When they're new, they pull in much better. So if there's a hex on top or flat, we can actually grab that now, and that's very easy. If you happen to have a ratchet wrench like this, these work excellent for it. Like I said, you can hold it up there on a flat pair of vice grips. Preferably try to keep the vice grips on there, but We don't want to squish it all the way. I mean, you've got to leave some amount of rubber on it. I'll go ahead and zoom in. Perhaps I should have done that in the first place. Where am I at? Right there, boys and girls. So that's how tight I'm doing it. These are locking nuts, of course. Actually, I could loosen it up just a little bit, but it is fine. It's not going to hurt a thing. There's not anything, nothing more to say, not anything else that I could add to it at this point in time. So once again, thanks for watching.